Hello everyone and welcome to Sambhav Law. In today's video, we have with us Mr. Vaibhav Mittal, who has scored a very good rank inside the CUET LLM PG exam of 2023. And today is with us to share his secret and his journey as to how he secured such a good rank and marks inside the exam. And accordingly, Vaibhav, I would like to welcome you to the channel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So first, you can introduce yourself to the audience, please.
First of all, good evening, everyone. And I'd like to thank Sambhav sir for firstly helping me throughout this journey whenever I needed him. And secondly, for giving me this valuable opportunity to express my views and sharing whatever little experience I can with the viewers. And as you know, my name is Vaibhav Mittal, and I basically belong to Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. I completed my BLLB honors from Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University in 2023 itself. Thereafter, I gave the CUET exam and I scored 272 marks in this exam, and now I'm going to pursue my master's in it.
Okay, so accordingly, Vaibhav, according to you, in your understanding, would you say that the CUET exam, how it was very difficult, was it very hard? What was your take upon it? And can you just explain as to what the CUET exam exactly is in your understanding?
Sure, sir. Sir, CUET, as we all know, stands for Common University Entrance Test. It is an exam conducted by the National Testing Agency, which conducts many other important exams like the UGC NET and all. And, this exam basically consists of two sections. One is the general section, which consists of 25 questions. Each question carries 1 mark. And the second section, the section B, is basically domain specific. It consists of questions relating to our law subjects, and 75 questions are basically there. In the entire paper is of 400 marks. Each carries 4 marks. Each question carries 4 marks, so the entire paper is of 400 marks. This year I scored 272, so the cutoff for the top universities almost ranges approximately to 240 to 250 in this exam. And so talking about the difficulty level of this exam, sir, the difficulty level, I would say it was moderate. It was neither too easy nor it was too difficult, I would say. And if, one has studied law properly and, he has revised his concepts in GK and his English is good, then I think that he can get through this exam.
I see, Vaibhav. So accordingly, Vaibhav, I would like to ask you that what was your preparation strategy? How did you prepare for the exams? And can you also tell us about some useful resources that you might have utilized while preparing for this exam?
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, basically the preparation for this exam does not start few months before this exam. It mainly starts when one starts pursuing his LLB or BLLB. The reason being that his, the syllabus of this exam is too wide. There is an entire gamut of laws. If we, pick up the syllabus, each and every law we can think of is included in the syllabus of this exam. So, the preparation of this exam should begin from the time when we have taken admission in our LLB or BLLB, as the case may be. Right? And sir, if we study each subject properly in our BLLB, that is more than sufficient for this exam, for the purpose of me, I suppose. This exam, you need not study in great details like, judiciary or higher judicial services. No, it is not that. If you have studied the law fairly, then you can get through this exam easily, very easily you can get through this exam. And, the NTA has an approach. Basically, for each paper, there is an approach. If we analyze all the papers conducted by NTA basically, is fond of giving questions like match the following and arrange the following in ascending order and descending order. So, you have to be thorough with the index. If, we are clear with the index, then we can get through half of the questions, I suppose. And, sir, talking about the resources which I preferred, they were mainly the BLLB syllabus. And secondly, we need to practice a lot. So for that, we can refer various books like Singles and all. We can try to give more and more mocks. The past year papers in this case are really important. And if we solve suppose last 10 years papers of DU, BHU, CLAT, PG and ALET, many questions we can see that they get repeated each and every year. But having said this, NTA is too unpredictable, very much unpredictable. Like in the previous year, the major law as in CPC, CRPC, evidence, constitution, IPC contract, they asked many questions from major law, but this time the questions were more from minor law. That is why the students who were thorough with their major laws, but their minor laws were weak, so they couldn't get through this exam. So if we have to get through this exam, we have to have knowledge of every subject, because NTA somewhere gives one or two questions for every subject. It doesn't leave out important subjects.
So, Vaibhav, if as you taught that, as you said that the range or the gamut of the length of the syllabus is too great, but I would also like to add that there is
Yes.
English, there is maths, there is logical reasoning, there is GK,
Yes, sir.
and then there is law all at
Yes,
the
sir.
same time. So, what is your strategy behind preparing the same, and how did you manage to go about it?
Yes, sir. Sir, when we talk about the general section, as I told you, this general section basically consists of 25 questions. Each question carries 4 marks. So, 1/4 of the paper is approximately, it is consisting of the general questions. The general paper is then divided into 4 or 5 subjects, which is English, first of all, second is logical reasoning, third is maths, and fourth is GK. GK includes static and current, both GK. And now, if you belong to an English medium school, you have studied from maybe CBSE board or ICSE board, and your English is normal, then you can easily get through the English. They every time they give you one comprehension, which is not tough at all. If you have studied for CLAT or any other law entrance exam, then you can easily get through English. Not even English, you can easily get through logical reasoning also, the quantitative aptitude, that is maths. The maths is not very tough. Mostly the questions are asked from unitary method, ratio and proportion, profit and loss, the percentage, which we have studied in our class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The level is exactly the same. They do not ask you questions which, are of a higher level. No, that is not the case, because they very well know that a student who is pursuing law is not that good in mathematics. He only knows the elementary mathematics, the basic mathematics. Right. And when we talk about logical reasoning, again, I would say that when you are studying for CLAT or the law entrance examinations, you might have studied this subject, logical reasoning. It is really an interesting subject. And the questions like the seating arrangements, the blood relations, the number series, all of these questions are asked in the exams. And believe me, the level of these questions is also not difficult. CUET has been conducted 2 times till now, 2022 and 2023. And you can see those papers. And I don't think that the level of the general section is difficult. And when we talk about GK is very wide. As we all know, GK covers the static GK and the current GK both. And when we talk about current GK, we have to study all the national events, the international events, the political news, sports news, and all of that stuff, which becomes very, very difficult for any aspirant, I suppose. But, we have to manage all this very wisely. Smart studies needed in this case. The reason for this is that the GK, does not carry that much weightage. Hardly 5 to 7 questions are asked from GK. And you cannot spend the entire year studying for GK and only for 5 to 7 months. Instead, you should study entire year for law. It will help you not only in the CUET exam but also in your career further. When we talk about GK, basic knowledge of the static GK, very basic knowledge, like basic knowledge of economics, basic knowledge of geography, which we did in our CLAT examinations. And the main, the current affairs, which the main headlines, the main current affairs for the past 1 year, they are more than sufficient for the exam. And this general section can give you an edge over others. Definitely. It is the make or break, I guess. Everyone studies now. Each of the aspirant who's giving this exam, he somewhere or the other has read law. He has completed his LLB. He is well versed with this law. What where the aspirant lacks is that they do not study this general section. This general section, the one who has mastered this general section, if he has scored somewhere above 18 or 19 marks, then he can get an edge over hundreds of students, I suppose. And talking about law is again, I would say, very wide syllabus, but yes, you need not study in that much details which you require in judiciary or other competitive examinations. The basic concepts, if you are clear with your basic concepts, if you are clear with the index of the barracks, that is more than sufficient, I suppose.
I see. Well, very well pointed out, because the thing that students need to understand is, even though the syllabus is very, very wide, there are so many things that you have to study. It is all about that your basics should be good, and accordingly, it is not very
Yes,
difficult to tackle this paper in
so,
that sense.
many students, they leave out this exam just because the syllabus is too wide. One should not do that. It is not humanly possible to, mug up or even read the entire syllabus which is prescribed for this exam. The syllabus is too wide, I suppose. So we have to work smartly. We have to analyze the past year papers. We have to see what are the important concepts. See, we have 484 sections in CRPC. We have 511 sections in IPC, 51 orders in CPC, 158 sections in CPC.
Yeah.
Not all are important points.
And
We
even
have to
they are
remember
going
this.
to be amended as
If
well. Even
exactly, the parliament has introduced those three bills. But yeah, considering the present, the CPC and the CRPC, the Evidence Act, when we talk about this, not all the sections of these acts are, or these codes are important.
very, very
We have to, we have to take out only those concepts which are important for the exam. If we, try to learn each and everything, we'll not succeed. Suppose you have learned entire 484 sections of CRPC and 51 orders of CPC. You are master of them. How many marks will you score? Maximum, you'll get 2 to 3 questions out of them, 5 questions, 7 questions, not more than that. It will not help you clear this examination. So you have to work wisely. First, you have to plan everything properly. How much time will you give to each and every subject? Definitely, CPC will require more time than small acts like arbitration or negotiable instruments act. But yes, we do not have to give entire time to CPC or CRPC. No, it is not the case. We have to work wisely. Otherwise, we are bound to fail in this exam.
no, very well pointed out, Vaibhav. So accordingly, if I come to my next question, when you saw
Yes.
the paper itself, do you think that the paper, according to you, how did you manage basically your time as to, preparing, basically attempting this particular section or that particular section? And what tips would you give regarding like the solving technique that you might use and the time management that you basically displayed to the exam? What helped you out exactly?
So time management, I must say, is a very important factor of any exam, any competitive exam we give. We do not manage the time, definitely, we can't complete our paper and we'll not clear the exam. So, as I said earlier, there are 2 sections. First, general section consisting of 25 questions, each question carrying 4 marks, and then there are 75 questions of law carrying 4 marks each of them. Now, when we see the duration of this paper is mainly of 2 hours. The total time given to us is 2 hours. So if we can manage our time, like what I did was, I kept out 30 minutes for the first general section. Thereafter, I gave 75 minutes to the section B, that is the law portion. And thereafter, I kept, 15 minutes for revision. Like, I will see what questions I have not done, whether I can attempt this, I'll try to think upon them, and I think, 1 minute for every question is more than sufficient. You'll see many questions in law, like they are completely section based, or, they have asked the name of any author or the name of any jurist. These questions, if you know the answer, then you can easily do those questions in 10 to 20 seconds, not more than that. Then you save the time in that question, you can spend that time in other questions, which actually require more time. I don't think that 90 minutes, more than 90 to 100 minutes are required for solving this paper. The rest 10, 20 minutes you can keep for revision in the end, and you can proceed upon.
See, very well elaborated upon the strategy front as well, Vaibhav. So, if I point out one thing, that you mentioned that you had done your graduation from Banaras Hindu University. So, can you give us a
Yes,
glimpse as to, because it is a very very good college and law faculty of
yes,
BHU is well renowned. So, can you just give me your experience and as a
yes,
glimpse as to how your experience was of BHU itself?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, BHU, I must say, is a very, very good college. And the campus, when we talk about the campus, it is definitely the best in India. We cannot compare any college with BHU when it comes to the terms of the beauty of the campus, firstly. Secondly, the teaching faculty, it again is great. You know, there are many professors who are very renowned, not only in BHU or Banaras, but all over India. And most of the teaching faculty, they are very experienced, they are very senior professors, and they'll guide you properly. And then we talk about the other things like hostel life again is interesting, very, very, very good life. You love nature when you go. The half of the duration of these 5 years, it went in COVID. I was there at home only, but those 2.5 years which I was there actually in BHU, they were the it was one of the best parts of my life. You know, Amazing campus, amazing teacher, amazing environment, everything was good, I must say. And if one is preparing for judiciary, then yes, definitely you can opt for BHU. It is, as we call it, a judge's practice, and one can go ahead if he definitely wants to pursue judiciary. Then he can go ahead with BHU. There's not any iota of doubt.
I see. So, Vaibhav, as you have scored such a good marks and ranks, so accordingly, what is your future plan? Like, which college do you wish to go for your masters? BHU, DU, or any other college in mind?
Yes, sir. Sir, definitely, sir. It is a very difficult choice to make between DU and BHU. Both have their pros and cons. Very, very difficult to make a choice between the two. But yeah, after all, I have to make a choice, and after analyzing each and every factor, I think that I'll gonna choose DU over BHU. So yes, as you know, I have got admission in DU. I have been allocated a seat in the first round itself. I paid the fees, and now I think that I most probably am gonna join DU only.
I see. And do you think, like, is there any specific? Can you just tell me reason as to why would you choose DU over BHU?
Yes, sir. Firstly, sir, the reason is that DU is very near to my house as compared to BHU. BHU is around 850 kilometers from my home, whereas DU is approximately 95 kilometers from my home.
Okay.
Firstly, this factor is very, very important. And so, secondly, I, somewhere think I have talked to many people, and after summarizing out their experience and whatever I have heard about you, I have read about you, and I think that the faculty of law, the dues faculty is somewhere better than which, and the exposure which I'll get in Delhi is more than what I'll get in Banaras. In Delhi, every law firm, every court, you get everything in the same city. You can do internships, you can do jobs, you can do n number of things. You can, if you want coaching, then you can definitely get admission into a good coaching institute in Delhi. And all these factors, after considering all these factors, I think that somewhere you has an edge over you when it comes to it. That is why, sir, I'll prefer D.
See. Acha, apart from that, one of my final questions would be that if you were
Yes,
to give this exam, CUET PG exam, and you had only 1 month, how would you
yes, sir.
do that particular thing? And accordingly, what advice would you give future aspirants as to what they should do about it?
Yes, sir. Sir, you have given such a short duration of 1 month, sir. 1 month it is not easy in 1 month to crack this exam. No one should wait for the last month that when the NTA will release the forms, I'm going to start the preparation. Then no, please don't wait for the forms. They will come, and you will not get time then. एंड देन यू विल थिंक काश मैंने पढ़ लिया होता पहले, अगर पढ़ लिया होता तो आज मेरा एग्जाम निकल गया होता। नहीं, आपको पहले से ही प्रिपरेशन अपनी स्टार्ट करनी है। अगर आप शुरू से ही अपनी प्रिपरेशन को मैनेज करेंगे, कोई बहुत ज्यादा प्रिपरेशन आपकी रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है। आप ये सोच रहे हैं कि रोज यू हैव टू डिवोट 8 to 10 hours, नो, नॉट एट ऑल। 8 to 10 hours तो रोज जुडिशरी में भी रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है अगर आप शुरू से प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस एग्जाम। अगर आप डेली अपना BMLB को ही प्रॉपरली पढ़ रहे हैं और एंड में आप सारे क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, बेसिकली जो पास्ट ईयर्स पेपर्स हैं of CUET PG and DU, BHU, CLAT, ALET, then it is more than sufficient. It is more than sufficient for success, I suppose. And sir, to all the future aspirants, I must say that please study and try to get through this exam. This exam is, again, I'm reiterating, not that difficult. Don't be afraid of the syllabus. Please don't be afraid of the syllabus. You'll hardly get 1 or 2 questions from every. So you need not go in great details. You need not learn each and every judgment. Only the landmark judgments. Don't read all the judgments, right? And all the best to all the future aspirants, definitely. And if you need any kind of help, then Sambhav sir is always there for you. You can even join his coaching too. And he's a great mentor, and he'll help you at each and every step. Yes.
Thank you very much for those kind words, Vaibhav. I think the aspirants who are listening to this particular interview would learn a lot from your experience and the way you tackled this paper. And the message that you gave in the end is also very, very important to understand that in 1 month, it cannot be done. You need sufficient amount of time and a basic knowledge of law and regular practice in order to succeed in this paper. That is a very, very impactful and beautiful message from your part. Thank you very much for your time. And thank you very much for
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.